All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome to Graphing Your World with Vava and Dr. Meyer. For those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, my name is Miss Winslow. I'm one of the math teachers here at Vava. Let me do a quick mic check. Make sure you can hear me. If I could have some smiley faces. Please. Thanks, guys. I know we have some students still entering the room, so we'll welcome them as they come. So again, I'm one of the math teachers here at Vava. We're really excited that you're here today with us to investigate some graphs in your world. Dr. Meyer here, who you see on the screen, he was actually previously a high school math teacher, and he now works at Desmos. And Desmos is like a hot topic word in our math class anyways. We're just getting to learn all the different things that we can do with it, especially in the activities and the polygraphs and things like that. So I know that kids are really excited to hear that about Dr. Meyer. And he gets to work every single day on the future of math, the future of technology, and the way that we learn those things and the way that we teach those things. So we're super proud to have him here. I know he has some really interesting activities planned for you guys today. And like I said, there might be some students sort of joining mid-session, so we'll kind of try to welcome them. As always, you guys are great. You know to keep the chat box appropriate and on topic. So we'll just thank you in advance for that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dan Meyer now.
What's up, folks? It's me, Dan. I can't turn my video on. I'm so sad, but you see my picture right there. I might figure that out later. We'll see. Can I get some smiles in the chat if you hear my voice? Just make sure my audio is working. Great, awesome. I see you, Grace. I see you, Hope. Thank you. Great. Cool. I don't know you folks, but I feel like I'm getting to know you folks through this quiz right here. And I love seeing, number one, your superpower, your chosen superpower. It makes sense that the majority of you folks would want to cure all illness, especially in a moment like this right here. Love seeing that. And nevertheless, I also dig that even when we are dealing with the biggest sickness that your world, my world, has ever seen, still, some of you are like, you know what, I still really want to be invisible. That's cool. And also cool is how many folks want to be able to speak any language automatically, which I assume you want to do so you can interact more fully, more relationally with the world around you. And that's beautiful to me. You folks are beautiful. So I'm here excited to hang out with you folks and think a little bit about mathematics for a little while here. I'm coming to this saying one thing to you is that graphs are a thing that you work with a lot in math class that oftentimes feel like ways that we turn math into more math. But graphs, from my perspective, are a way of understanding the world a little bit better. So we're going to do some activities, but first I just want to share with you a picture of, let me see if I can share my screen, fingers crossed on that. Application sharing, share entire desktop, hit OK. I've got to go to my system preferences. That was unexpected, but I think I've got this. Turning that on, going back to application sharing. Can you folks see my desktop yet? Let's see. Start sharing. Oh yeah, you can see a big eye staring back at you.
We can see it, yeah.
Wonderful. All right, yeah, it's a picture of an eye, right? Like, cool, but no big deal. Except when I tell you that it's made up of equations and a graphing calculator. That is bonkers. X-axis on, Y-axis on. This right here, it's all quadratic equations, linear functions, exponentials, cubics, square roots, rationals, absolute values. It's all kinds of functions going on here. Pretty bonkers stuff. So we just finished up a art contest, and just to share with you a couple of the finalists. Here's I thought this was just like a enormously beautiful hand and light bulb with the light rays coming off of it, super slick. Love this self-portrait right here, especially the angle on it, just super dig it. And then, yeah, this picture right here, the perspective, the kind of tilted angle on the class, the detail on the hair. Look at all these equations. It's all equations. Bonkers. Look at all those. Anyway, this is the finalists of our art contest. I'm not sure how you folks get links out to students, but perhaps you could send this link out there. They could check out what's going on. Some of these are wild. Today, I'm gonna ask you folks to think graphically about your world. First, I just want to get to know you folks a little bit better. So I'm curious. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling hot? Are you feeling down and low right here? How are you feeling? Somewhere in the middle. You're gonna drag this point right here to wherever you're feeling, and then let us all know, let your classmates know something you miss from your life pre-quarantine. It's actually not bad that I can't turn my video on because I am missing a haircut. Feeling shaggy, gross. And then hit share, and you'll see other people's responses coming on in to the chat. So how do you get into this and share your thoughts? What you got to do is open up a web browser, go to student.desmos.com, and then type in that class code. And this is where we're going to spend a bunch of time today.
Dr. Meyer, is it possible to share that that link in the chat box for students as well?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So you guys see that code there. And those of you who've used Desmos before, you know you do not have to create an account. But please, as you type in your name, use the name that appears in Blackboard, be appropriate, please.
I'll probably just hit that anonymize button anyway, but always good advice to be appropriate. Got 19 students in. If you just joined a little bit late, welcome. We're so happy you're here. My name is Dan. Feel free to go to that website, student.desmos.com, and type in that code. And I'm asking you how you're feeling today. I'm about to start checking in on some answers, seeing who we're dealing with and how they're doing. Oh, this is so real. Going to give you folks 30 more seconds. Then I'll pause you. Ten seconds. Okay, pausing the team right here. So check it out over on my screen. Come on back to the screen share over here. I'm going to share with you just a quick summary of what I'm noticing, how special this is. First of all, I'm looking at the colors of the robots on the left side of the screen here. I'm seeing lots of greens. That's great. Lots of yellows. That's expected. And some reds, which is so real. And to the folks who are feeling all the way in the red, I got two folks. you have an anonymous name here. This is not your real name or the name you typed in on the screen. You have an anonymous name. So I'm going to say Jose, and then Marjorie. I see you here, feeling that in a big way. Stretching my arms out to you folks, my thoughts, my hopes for you folks during this time. Just a really challenging time for so many people. I'm glad that some of you folks are feeling some energy. You're feeling up a bit. The majority of folks are feeling like neutral or above. That's great, but let's keep in mind our classmates who are just really struggling at the moment with lots that's going on. As far as what you folks are missing right now, this is what I was feeling. I'm feeling like a little bit like coffee. I make my own coffee at home these days, and it's not as great as what it once was. I could like go to Starbucks and grab something really sugary and fun. So I missed that. I was noticing how many folks said that they miss hanging out with friends. I really want to know what carpet ball is. That sounds like a blast. But friends came up a bunch. It's just not the same seeing them on whatever apps you're using to keep in touch. It's still not the same as being in the same place, is it? And then I was also really struck by how many folks that talk about their family members, and that just feels super real and important. Most of my family lives very far away, so this isn't super different for me. But yeah, it is a total drag if you're used to like having regular time with grandparents or uncles and aunts or cousins or whatever, and now you can't. Big time bummer. And this right here. Just the overall sense of worry that is out there is also extremely real, and just it just wears on a body, like nonstop worry. Am I getting sick? Is someone else getting sick? Am I getting them sick? That just kind of wears on someone. So if you're feeling that, just know that is absolutely normal right now, and this is just a very bonkers time. I'd love to think a little bit about the internet during coronavirus with you folks. So here's the question I'm going to ask you folks in a moment. Is I'm going to give you folks some cards. I'm going to give you some cards. And I'm going to ask you this, is that which of these graphs matches which of these websites? These are graphs of web traffic. So right here, what we've got is daily web traffic for a particular website right here. This website, at the low end here, it's 16 million daily visitors. On the high end here, 26 million daily visitors. And it like went down, it went up. What is this line though? When is this? This line right here is the first reported U.S. coronavirus death. So this is when a lot of things started to change in your world. Maybe not immediately. Maybe coronavirus was not a thing that you'd heard about it. It was like somewhere very distant. It was not something nearby. And then it was like, oh, we should wash our hands more. And then all of a sudden it was like, nope, we're shutting everything down in the world here. And so this right here is a particular moment. And I'm wondering, can you match each of these graphs right here to the right website? And so I'm going to give you folks, I don't know, let's just say 2 minutes to think about these graphs and then match them up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on and tell you what the hardest graph was for us to match, and then give you another moment to think about it. Okay. You are now paced to this card sort, and I've unpaused you folks. Over to you folks. Go for it. And if you're just coming online, please head to that website, type in that code, and you'll join this card sort already in progress. Let's learn a little bit about how graphs match our world. 20 more seconds. Get your last answers in. Your first draft of your answers in. Okay, jump on back to the Blackboard window where you'll see my screen. And I'm going to share with you folks the hardest card to group. Here it is, right here. Whoops, here we go. This is the most common incorrect card right here, this one. What is going on with this one? Why is this so tricky, I wonder? Website that has 200 million on the high end. Wow, really spiking. 200 million. And then 160 million on the low end was where it started. This one is particularly hard for us. I'm going to tell you this one is the most common incorrect grouping is this right here. That the reason why this card is so often incorrect is that it's most often paired with Netflix. So what I'm going to do is, given that you know that this is the incorrect match, that these cards right here are incorrectly matched, I'm going to give you another 1 minute to think about your matching and decide if you like it or if you want to change it. And then, Ms. Winslow, I'm not sure if it's possible, but I would love to have someone, if it's possible, to unmute themselves and describe how they decided, what revelation they had. They knew this is incorrect. What did they do? How are they thinking about their new answer? So 1 minute, I'm hearing some dings. Must be some hands are up. I'll be really excited to hear from you folks in a moment. 1 minute to change things up, and then we'll talk about this, and I'll share with you the answers. You folks are unpaused.
Yeah, Dr. Meyer, absolutely. So you guys, as you're working through this, if you would like to share the reasoning why you changed your answer or chose that answer, go ahead and raise your hand, and when the time comes, we'll go ahead and give you mic and camera privileges.
Twenty more seconds. So interesting. Seeing the results changing on my side. Okay, let's do this. I would love for someone to tell me your name and Desmos so I can pull your matches up, and for you to tell me why you matched what you matched. How you're thinking through this.
All right, so hey, Ryan, I see your hand is the first hand up. Did you want to go ahead and respond to Dr. Meyer's question? Give me a smiley face and I'll give you awesome. Here is your microphone and your camera if you'd like to jump on.
Mine is Jose Adam Jane.
Super. Hey, thanks for hopping on the call here. Ryan, what's your name in Desmos? It's in the top right-hand corner.
The Jose Adam Jane. The bottom box. On the.
Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Cool. All right. So would you tell me about it here? So I've got here's your cards right here. Whoops. Let's see. Let me just ask you. Talk about how you're deciding about these cards here.
I thought that ESPN would be the high spike because there was like no sports until basically where they first started. Now they're starting it up again. That's the whole reason why I saw like the big spike in ESPN because there was no sports. And YouTube was probably already spiked to begin with, and they actually probably started watching sports on that one too. Netflix, they probably started watching more shows from home because everybody's staying home, and the house parties decreased because because you can't bring big groups of people in that house into one place together.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts here, Ryan. Was it? I would love if someone would jump on in a moment and share, if you had a disagreement with Ryan, what your thinking was, how your thinking was different from this, and hopefully that we'll all learn from this conversation. I do want to just offer one clarification: that house party does not refer to actual house parties, which makes tons of sense that should decrease. House Party is an app that I had never heard of, smallish kind of app, but it's an app that allows you to have kind of virtual gatherings similar to House Party. But this is not like the physical kind of house parties, in which case this right here makes a ton of sense, that things would be on the decrease. So would Ms. Winslow or whoever's moderating please toss the mic to someone else, and yeah, talk back to Ryan here. Ryan's offered some very important ideas about which graph matches which site. Really appreciate that. If you have disagreements or want to ask some questions, jump on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also welcome to open the chat whenever you think that would be good, Dr. Meyer. But I see, Ava's running her. Hey, Ava, your hand is up next. Did you want to jump on the mic and share your thoughts? Awesome. Thanks for that smiley face. Here is your microphone and your whiteboard tools in case you want to use the pointer and your camera.
Okay, so I had a different reasoning behind my choices, but so I thought that ESPN was the one that goes down because if sports are canceled, people aren't checking the ESPN, checking on the website to see what sports are going on because there are fewer sports events going on. And then I thought House Party was the one that went slightly up, the one that's under YouTube right now. Yeah.
Say more about that,
And then I thought, yeah, and then YouTube, I figured that had the insane spike. Yeah, that one. Because more people are at home watching their cat videos and stuff. And then I thought Netflix was the one that also went kind of up, but that's already paired, right?
No change to the Netflix one then. I had a really hard time deciding this one has a really wild spike, like boom, way up, and this one has a really wild spike, boom, way up, and so does this one here, boom, way up. Can you help me understand why are you like which is which? Like how do you know that say this one's not the YouTube and this one's not the House Party and that sort of thing? Like how are you deciding which of these big spikes goes with which of these?
The way I decided that is because for the House Party one, it's from 0.6 million to 1.8 million, and there are videos on YouTube that will get millions of views in a matter of days. So YouTube would definitely be the one that had 160 to 200 million.
Gotcha. So you're really tuning into kind of the minimum number, the maximum number here, the maximum number here. I'm hearing you compare that 1.8 million. That's a lot, but it's not 200 million a lot. Super interesting. Okay, sorry, was it Ava? Thanks so much, Ava, for your comments here. We had Ryan, we had Ava, and now it's your turn to decide who you agree with, or if you have a third option entirely. Maybe you say, like, mine's different from both Ryan and Ava's, and I'm standing on it, but you heard some really thoughtful ideas from both about the matching. I'm going to give you one more minute, and then I'm going to send you over to an answer checking screen where you can see the actual answers. One more minute for you folks, and then I'll move you to the answer. Unpause. Go for it, team. 10 seconds, lock them in. Here we go. I'm going to look at the teacher side here and see what the most common incorrect answer. First of all, I'm going to see that loads of folks got this correct so far. Some are still working towards correctness. Good to see. The most common incorrect grouping was this with YouTube right here. This and YouTube right here. Makes sense that YouTube is rising. As Ava said, people are watching all those cat videos. But YouTube is a monster website, and 26 million is not monster numbers. This right here, these are monster numbers, 200 million. It's helpful maybe to know that there's about 350 million people in the United States, and so you're talking about 200 million. That's like 2/3 of all the U.S. watching videos. That wouldn't be Netflix. Netflix costs money. YouTube is free with ads. Anyway, I'm going to move you folks over to the next screen where you can decide. You can check how did I do and check your cards and give it a look, and then we'll move on. If you got the party cat, your cards were correct. If you got the sad cat, your cards need some more work. But the important part to me is we all learned something about graphs and about the world here today from hearing Ryan and Ava talk about it. Love that. When you're done checking that out, jump on back to my view here, and I'll just offer you really quickly the exact answer. I'm going to pause you. Come on back now. ESPN is the one that was decreasing. I think it is a bit on the increase right now, you know, as we got like the Michael Jordan documentary, but sports still aren't happening quite yet. Let me see here. And House Party is the one that I'd never heard of, Ryan never heard of, and that's why it has really small numbers, but it is jumping up. And then YouTube and Netflix is hard for me to figure out. They both have a big spike, but YouTube is much more popular, much more widely used anyway than Netflix. And this right here is the correct matching of graphs to websites. Interesting stuff to me, and I love that graphs can describe our world. So where I want to move next with you folks is this. I want to know more about what you think about fruits. I want to know what you think about fruit. Bananas, watermelons. Are you into it? Are you not into it? And so how you can show me that is you can like tell me in words. We could all unmute ourselves right now or take the mic or all chat in. Bananas, I like them. I don't like them. I'm into them. That's one thing we could do. But graphs offer us a very fast way of communicating our ideas about fruit. For instance, do you find bananas really tasty or really untasty? Up and down. Do you find, here's another way to think about bananas, do you find bananas really easy to eat or difficult to eat? That's another question we could ask ourselves about fruit. You got to peel the thing. You got to deal with that kind of the stickiness of it. Maybe does have its own handle built in, but towards the end of the banana, it's a little bit tough. Anyway, is it easy or difficult? Watermelon. Do you think that watermelon is super tasty and super easy? Super easy and super untasty. I would love for you folks to use the graph to tell all of us what you think about those fruit. So we'll start there, and I'm going to be curious to see where all your bananas and all your watermelons wind up. So head back to the Devs activity and let me and your classmates know what you think about that fruit. Over to you. If you're just joining, head to that website, type in that code, rock and roll. Okay. I'm going to pause you folks. This is super interesting. I'm going to pause right now. Give this a look over on my side if you want to see some watermelons and some bananas. What do you see? I'll tell you what I see. What we've got here is bananas, almost all, yeah, interesting. Bananas are almost all to the right is what I am seeing here. So we've got bananas all being pretty easy according to you folks. That's what I'm hearing. And then we've got a lot of disagreement about are they tasty or are they untasty, although I'm noticing that we have probably more tastiness than untastiness here. Watermelons, that's a different story. Watermelons, we got some folks saying that watermelons are off the charts easy. Check out these folks in the top right, way up here. These folks are saying watermelons are so easy and so tasty you cannot measure them on this graph. That's interesting. Other folks take the very opposite perspective, saying that these are extremely untasty and extremely difficult. Pretty wild. Me, I think that that watermelons, they require like a knife. Bananas don't require a knife, for instance. And they have this like really tough rind you got to deal with. Plus some seeds, perhaps. I would put watermelons at more difficult than bananas. I'm curious if there's anybody in the class here that put watermelons as easier than bananas. If you did, I want to know what's going on inside your head. This person here said that watermelons were about as difficult as bananas. Interesting. So far, everyone has watermelons to the left of the bananas. Whoa. Not a real big fruit lover right here, Alicia. At least watermelon and banana, both very untasty for Alicia. Yow. Okay. Let's see. Jose, this is I think this is Ryan if I recall right. This is all fruit is easy for Ryan. No big deal. Love seeing all this. Okay. Bonkers. Hearing some dings. Miss Winslow, is this like a good time to let people shout out? People want to say something about this or what's going on here? This is pretty controversial stuff. Fruit, wow. Oh, here we go. Henri Poincaré.
Chat if you guys want to fill it.
Saying that bananas are more difficult than watermelons. That is some pretty interesting stuff. Okay, folks, this has got me going. This got me going, and I'm finding myself very curious where you'd place the rest of these fruits. I want to know about pineapples, about strawberries, about peaches, about lemons, green apples, red apples, cherries, grapes. That's what I'm wanting to know right now. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to ask you folks to graph all of those. And then at the end of all this, be thinking about this. We're going to find out which fruit is most controversial in this class of students. That's what we'll find out next. So you folks are now paced over to that screen where you can graph all those fruit. And if you want to, you can also jump back and change your banana and watermelon if you would rather do that. So take, let's say, 4 minutes here. 4 minutes, and I'll put my 4-minute timer up here. 4-minute timer. And then in 4 minutes, we're going to check in on your answers and see which one was most controversial for the class. All you. Minute 30, lock them in. I'm over here checking them out if you're done. I want to see what I see. I'm looking for one thing in particular. Oh, so interesting. Oh, so interesting. Snapshot that. Uh-huh. 30 seconds, folks. One second, that's it, pausing it. Come on back here. I was looking for one thing only here. What do you notice about red and green apples in each of these? Wow. I'm going to say something, is that your opinion about fruit, that's personal to you, and I would never say your opinion about fruit is wrong except in this one case. I think that only one of these graphs is correct, that there can be wrong opinions about fruit. Right here, check out red and green apples. These are from 4 of your classmates. I think that red and green apples are only right in one of these. Can I see you folks toss into the chat your thoughts about which of these is correct and why? You can say top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. I wish I could label these for you. I can't. Only one of these is correct, I think. I'm not here to tell you your opinion about bananas and whatnot. That's wrong. That's not it. But red and green apples, I got opinions here. I'm going to go check out the chat right now. Excuse me. See what you folks said. All apples are hard for me because of braces. Thank you for sharing that. They taste the same. I don't know about that. I think apples taste, green apples are often pretty tart, you know? Let's see. That is easy to prepare. Bottom left is mine. What's up, Samuel Adams? Top right, bottom left. No one's saying why, though. I should have asked that one. Bottom left is the right one. Lots of folks saying bottom left is correct. And I'm gonna say that is right. And here's why I'll say it's right, is that the bottom left one, you've got the red and green apples. They got different levels of taste. I have no opinion there. If you think they taste exactly as good, fine. If you have red on top of green, green on top of red, I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. But they are saying that they are the same level of difficulty to prepare. Whereas this one right here is telling me that, if you're over on my side here, this one here, it says that the red apple is much easier than the green apple to prepare. And I just can't see it. They're basically the same kind of form and everything, the same kind of thing. So I was looking around for folks to see what they said about apples. Love that. Are there other folks here? I'm going to go check out the graphs from you folks and see if there's anything interesting I can yell about or squawk at. Let's see. Yep, here we go. There's apples, one on top of the other. Like seeing that. I love seeing folks. It's cool to see folks that don't have any fruit. It's just fun to see folks that have only one fruit in the lower left-hand quadrant here. You know, it's like, look at this person right here, Dorothy Vaughn. This person right here, every fruit, loves it. Super easy, like off the charts tastiness, except for one fruit. Peaches. Hate peaches. Like some of you folks have it out for a particular fruit. Here's someone who's like, yeah, there's nothing here that's difficult or untasty to me. This is something that's just super positive. Like, I want to know this person, Leonard Euler, whoever you are. This is someone who just got a positive disposition, positive personality about fruit and perhaps everything else in life. I don't know, but just real positive, sunny people. Dig it, dig it. Super cool. Hasn't done it yet. Yep, here's another just very positive person right here. Mm-hmm. The last thing we'll do, you and me, very last thing we'll do is have a look at what the most controversial fruit was. Right now in the chat, I want to see some predictions. What do you think the most controversial fruit is going to be for the folks in this class right here? Let me see what you got. Most controversial fruit. I'm seeing folks saying pineapples, controversial. People saying lemons are going to be controversial. Did anybody put lemons in the tasty area is what I'm wondering. I'm going to find out in a second. Folks saying bananas. Yeah, folks saying I love lemons. Very, very top right goes the lemons. You folks are wild. All right, on this next screen, here's what's cool. On this next screen, you're going to be able to click on all these fruit right here and see where your entire class put that fruit. Figure out which fruit seems hardest for your class to disagree on. I'm pasting you there. We'll chat about it. I'll say so long. It's been a blast hanging out with you folks, learning how to graph your world. All right, here we go. Unpause. Check them out. Folks thought the lemon was a mango at first. That explains why I put that in the tasty area of the graph. Some folks here, Samantha Hooper, liking raw lemons. Oh my gosh. Ava asked a great question. Are we talking lemonade or raw lemons? I was thinking raw lemons, but you might have taken that a different way. That's cool. Stop when you think you found the most controversial fruit. How do you know if it's controversial or not? Which is the least controversial fruit? This is a tough one. I'm having a hard time deciding, honestly. Decide on your answer and then set it there in 10 seconds. I think I've got my answer figured out. 5, 4, 2. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm with you folks. I think lemon winds up being the most controversial. I think that's right. Lemon and banana are showing up from folks as being very controversial. Jumping back here, is banana more controversial than lemon? They're both super spread out. Yeah, I give it to the bananas and the lemons. I can't honestly decide. Look at how spread out those points are. Which one do we all agree on? Which is the least controversial fruit that you saw? I'm seeing strawberries as being pretty uncontroversial. There's some real strawberry haters on here, but by and large, folks are like, yeah, strawberries. Easy, tasty, give it to me. I was noticed that watermelons, no one put watermelons in the easy and untasty quadrant here, unless my one right there is almost in it. Anyway, folks, this is what I'm talking about, is that graphs are useful for thinking about turning math into more math, like working on equations in graphs, that kind of thing. Like graphs can feel real mathematical, but oftentimes graphs do a really excellent job, better than our words do, or better than photos do, or anything else. Graphs help us describe our world, whether that's what happened to the internet after this huge coronavirus catastrophe. Graphs can step in to help us. Or if we want to figure out what this class thinks about fruit, we could unmute ourselves and all of us say, okay, what do you think about bananas, red apples, cherries, grapes, green apples, and go down the list and everyone says it, but it'd be a huge conversation and no one would know what the overall patterns and trends are. It's only by using this graph right here that we're able to say to ourselves, forevermore, this class, lemons and bananas, don't bring them up in conversation. Like lemons and bananas, that's a hot topic. Don't touch that topic unless you want to have a throwdown fight with whoever you're talking with in the chat. Avoid these topics at all costs. Talk about strawberries. Talk about strawberries instead. Strawberries, not controversial. You probably agree with the person about strawberries. We were only able to figure this out through the use of graphs. So, my name's Dan. It's been great hanging out. I hope you folks check out Desmos art, and I'm just so proud of you folks doing the work you're doing, even under just some really challenging times. Some of you folks are having a real bad time right now. My red robot's here. Shouts out to you folks for being here anyway and sharing of yourself with all of us. It means a lot to me to hang out with you folks. That's what I need, hanging out with students. So to my colleagues at K-12, thanks for hosting me. Jamie, thanks for reaching out. It's been a real treat. See you guys again sometime.
Thank you so much, Dr. Meyer. I have already gained a better appreciation for the difficulty of eating certain types of fruits. So I know that we all appreciate a look at how math can relate directly to us. A lot of times we see questions in textbooks or on our screens that we just can't connect with, and both of these scenarios are very relevant to our lives right now. So I really, really appreciate you taking the time to come and share with us. And I wanted to share with you all and you, Dr. Meyer, one of our students in 8th grade, Julie Cruz, actually submitted an entry to the art and graphing competition, and this is her entry. So we wanted to give another big shout out to Julie. It's just an amazing product that you put out there, and I know that you spent a lot of time on it, so we're really proud of you for that. Again, we can't thank you guys enough. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, students. Thank you again, Dr. Meyer, for spending your time with us here today. And you guys have a great week.